The stock of the day is brought to you by IG, Australia's #1 CFD provider. With over 17,000 markets and extended trading hours, turn US earnings season volatility into opportunity. Get started at IG.com.
And our stock of the day is Audinate. Shares having plunged this morning, this after the audiovisual networking tech provider reported a challenging first quarter of FY25, posting gross profit of $7.2 million US in the September quarter, as it faces headwinds such as increased inventory and softer demand. However, it is positive on its longer term growth, driven by the increasing adoption of its Dante technology and planned product launches in the second half. It's anticipating a return to growth in FY26. But Phil, having spoken to a couple of fundies and analysts today, they're saying, look, that update it's pretty vague. Did you agree with that?
It is vague. They talked about the gross profit. They were expecting slightly behind last year, now more. And we saw a similar vague update from Flight Centre last week. This was once a market darling, very well owned. It was $23.50 in February. Yeah. And I think they raised capital at around about the same time, which came as a surprise to a number of people. And it's been disappointing updates since. I don't think the full-year result was well received, and today's, we can see that in the lead up to August, and then the trading update today. So there's but we cover the stock. Shaw & Partners currently has a hold on it, so I will call it a hold as we review today's announcement. But I think what's been suffering there is, again, this isn't really a recurring revenue business. It's sort of one-off sales. And when they had a good result, I think analysts sometimes made the mistake of they just multiply that the last quarter by 4, and there's my FY25 forecast. I'm not saying that happened, but it can happen. So we found out this morning that their revenue is not necessarily recurring. There was this thing happened 18 months ago with inventory build and gross margin pressure. So again, it's returned. The challenges have returned, and reading their outlook statement, it doesn't seem like these challenges are going away anytime soon. When they talk about excess inventory, that needs to be cleared, so the gross margin isn't going to go up in a hurry, and they flagged a decline. So those who took stock at the last capital raise, if they're still there, they'd be annoyed. So there's some angry selling, and it's not coming back in a hurry. I don't love to. You rarely make money buying a stock as soon as it's downgraded. I think this is the second, people say, rule of three. So I think this is a genuine hold. It is probably will once again become a market darling. I would just sit back. If you didn't sell this morning, it may well be too late to sell. I would just hang on to it. So I'd call it a hold until we reassess our view. But certainly no need to rush out and buy this stock after a pretty disappointing trading update this morning. As you said, it was vague. So,
so you think there could be more bad news to come, further to fall?
The next trading update will be important. When the company says current conditions expected to remain challenging, they can really see 3 to 6 months out. So in 3 months' time, we might get another 6-month outlook statement that suggests the conditions are still challenging. So I think it's too early to buy back in today. I would just sit and wait and see. You'll get analyst downgrades overnight. So all the analysts will say, we were wrong, we were too early. The latest, they downgraded not too long ago, and analysts downgraded and said it's all on the price until it wasn't. So I would wait for the next round of downgrades to see where the share price settles, and then assess early next week as to whether it's a buy or not.
Rudi?
Yeah, slight different view. The reason why I'm sitting this part of the camera is because I'm a shareholder in WiseTech and I'm a shareholder in Audinate, and this side is completely bruised. It's purple.
What about MinRes?
No, I don't own MinRes. Okay. Can't own them all. But I have a slightly different view, but it basically the same end conclusion. I think when investors and analysts and strategists look at the share market, they often reason from the perspective of interest rates are coming down, whether you are in the Trump trade or the Harris trade, it doesn't matter. Or the US dollar moves, or we will have a recovery next year economically, we're not going to have a recession. The problem with all those views is, and that also leads into buy cyclicals, buy small caps, etc., is that the situation on the ground for large segments of the economy and for large segments of the share market is really, really challenging. And while a small cap stock, because essentially it still is a small cap stock, like Audinate, of course they have their technology going for them. They have a very promising longer term story, and Philip is right. They are working towards building up a recurring revenue model. If the customers don't buy their products, they have no control over them. I mean, and if you look at the statement this morning, they're basically saying like, listen, quarter one is not good, and quarter two will not be good either. I mean, like you say vague, but that was quite clear. Yeah. So the first half is already it's not gonna do it. Yeah. So then you have to keep your fingers crossed for what's going to happen in the second half. I think the way things are shaping up, I mean, you can't exclude that the second half will not be better than the first half. I mean, it all depends. It all depends now on, amongst other things, central banks, what they're doing and how economies are going to respond, and their customer base. So I'm not going to. I mean, I'm a shareholder, but I'm now officially putting it on under review in stockbroker language, and I'll make up my mind, because the thing is, there's two things I never do. I never tend to buy when everyone is buying, when the share price is literally rolling away, but I'm also not selling when everyone is selling. And I just wait till the dust settles, and I'll make up my mind over the next few days. But needless to say, is there value on offer? Well, that depends on what comes next. And it can't be excluded that what comes next can actually be more bad news before the good news starts coming in.
So officially that is a wait from you then?
No, it's on a review. Because I'm a shareholder.
Well, that's you waiting though, for the dust to settle.
I'm making up my mind.
All right.
I try not to be impulsive in these things.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, that's hard, isn't it? All right, that's it's a review from Rudi. It is a hold from Phil. That's our stock of the day.
The stock of the day was brought to you by IG. Turn volatility into opportunity this US earnings season with extended trading hours on over 110 key US shares. Get started at IG.com.